Alright, awesome. So, folks, for those of you at home, you're probably wondering why you're not hearing the dulcet tones of either of our regular co-hosts, Sterling Silver or Josiah Biggs. And the reason for that is because they are otherwise occupied. That's alright, no worries here. I can step in and see if I can take a crack at holding down our wonderful podcast this week. It's me, Matthew Ferrugia, but I'm not here by myself. Oh no, I could never be. I could never hold this down by myself. Who wants to hear just one guy talking for an hour? That's ridiculous. I'd like to introduce the one and only, our old good friend, Mr. John Lamy. John, please say hello.
Hello, Matthew boy.
Now, John, I understand you've been watching a few good things and reading some cool stuff with your week, so why don't we just jump into seeing what's been going on your end?
Alright, so I've been watching up to episode 446 of the dub of One Piece.
Alright.
Which, is they're just getting back up from the prison impelled down. So I went all the way from the island where they get spread apart by Kuma to this part. And of course, I'll probably watch more tonight, but having the sickness that it seems you and I both have, I can't really enjoy even anime or even YouTube. I can't really enjoy right now.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I hate watching stuff if I can't enjoy it, because it's gonna be like, for example, one of my friends wants to introduce me to the anime Overlord, but I told him, listen, dude, if I go in with this cold that I have, like all the memories of this anime, when someone brings up like, what do you think of Overlord, it's just gonna remind me I had a really shitty cold that time.
Yeah.
And that's what I remember most of that anime, is I was suffering through it. So that's why I have to watch anime when I'm in a good mood, or else it turns out to be like Bleach, where it put me to fucking sleep and I never gave Bleach another shot.
Yeah.
I also got to episode 9 of the Dragon Ball Super dub, and it's going swimmingly.
Now, our topic, spoiler for this podcast once we're done our news, is going to be Dragon Ball. So I do have to ask John, as for Super, have you just been watching the dub, or are you also at least relatively up to date with the sub version?
For sub, I got up to past the first tournament, and they were going to enter the Black Goku saga.
Okay, yep.
But I have played like Dragon Ball Fusions. I've watched a few things on the Dragon Ball Heroes video game, which kind of covers like the same type of material that's in Super.
Okay, that's good.
Luckily, I didn't need a translation for it because I understood most of the stuff that was being said. But yeah, I'm aware of where we are right now in the subs.
Alright, that's good.
Like the last bit of news I heard was about Gohan's fight.
Oh, okay, with that guy from Universe 10, I think. Yeah, the Fox people or Wolf people or whatever the fuck. Yeah.
And then I'm also aware that Goku, I believe it's Goku, is fighting right now, and he's fighting an alien.
Yeah, some dude named Topo.
So I'm aware of it. It's just I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, it's alright. It's all good. So, do you understand the general synopsis of the Black Goku arc?
Yes.
Oh, okay, good. Because I don't want to spoil shit for you. That would be very
doesn't matter. Whenever
Okay.
people try to spoil stuff, and like, for example, with One Piece, so spoiler alert for people who haven't even started One Piece yet, but it's been out how many years? When Ace got killed, I knew that long beforehand, but that was like right after I decided Ace was my favorite character. And I was like, you motherfuckers. Of course my Stan kicks in and kills him off.
Mm-hmm.
So, I knew of it, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna be fucking pissed when this comes to that point. And then it got to the point, and it was a lot better than I thought it was, like the way he went out and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the image of how he went out, but like I didn't see the episode beforehand. And when you watch an episode, instead of someone just explaining the episode, it's a whole different experience anyways.
Yep.
So in a way, people can't spoil shit for me, because the anime is going to look different. And it's going to have a different feel than what you tell me.
So basically, your big spoiler for Ace was like you saw the image of just like a Kainu's fist going through him,
Yeah.
and it's like, okay, that's what happens to the guy that I like. That's wonderful.
Yeah, and the way that I saw that too was when I was playing one of the Pirate Warrior games.
Yeah.
It was like that was a cutscene. I was like, oh well, fuck, there goes Ace, of course.
Yep. He's fucking dead. Ain't that a thing?
So yeah,
So
again, I don't really care about spoilers because I'll just be like, well, when I get to see it, it's gonna be good anyway, so fuck it.
Yep. Of course, yeah. What else? So you said you've been keeping up with One Piece. You've been you checked out Dragon Ball. You mentioned another couple of things you've been watching over the course of the last week.
Yeah, I've actually been reading a manga as well. The manga I've been reading is Kamen Rider Black. There's actually a manga of it. And holy shit, is this just a gag comic.
Yeah?
Like, I almost expect that this was written by Toriyama or something. Because it's like a bunch of nude jokes where the guy's like, haha, you're naked, we can see your pee-pee. Haha. And, like, it has nothing to do with Kamen Rider Black other than, oh look, you know, it's Kamen Rider Black. We took his design, we put him in this comic. Anyways, it's alright. It's fine for just its weirdness. Like, they went from a kind of like a Spider-Man versus Dr. Croc type fight, and now they're doing like a Phantom of the Opera chapter. So now he's fighting the Phantom from Phantom of the Opera. So it's just a bunch of weird shit like that going on.
Yeah.
And then I watched the first episode of Kamen Rider Black, and it's okay. Like, it wasn't amazing, and holy smokes, was the special effects ever bad. Holy shit. Like,
that bad, eh?
Well, I saw Kamen Rider 1971, the very first Kamen Rider Ichigo, and it, like, the special effects in that impressed me more than the ones in Kamen Rider Black.
Fuck, alright. Okay.
And let's just do a quick research here. When did Kamen Rider Black come out? Kamen Rider Black first aired in 1987.
1987.
So 71 looked better than 87.
Yep.
But
that's the natural, yeah, that's... I don't even know what kind of joke to make about that, because, I don't know, man, just fucking step up your game, I guess. That's not acceptable.
On IMDb, it got like an 8.3 out of 10. So, it must get better.
Right.
It had 51 episodes to get better, so...
Oh, it's pretty good. That's pretty good. So, like, about, going on... About 4 seasons worth of content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I told you guys that I have to go from 1971 to like 2000 or 2017 of Kamen Rider, because I think there was only one gap between years, and it was like a 2-year break or something.
Okay.
But other than that, every year's had a Kamen Rider, and each one's at least 50 episodes.
That's a lot of Kamen Rider, and like.
Yeah, and then Super Sentai is the same.
Yep. As I've expressed to both you and Josiah, I still have yet to check out anything Kamen Rider related. But who knows? Like, if there's this much content to go through, as you were mentioning, then there's bound to be at least like one of these continuities that I'm a fan of. There's bound to be something there for me.
Well, if you're a fan of blood and gore, we have a series that's going to have its second season coming out called Amazons.
Amazons, alright.
And it only had like 12 episodes or so. But it's literally a Kamen Rider made for Amazon. Like the site Amazon. Or at least Amazon's hosting it. And
Seriously?
it's like a throwback to the old Showa ages. And you have people tearing other people's heads off, like eating them, clawing someone's face to shreds, and it actually shows like the blood and gore and stuff, which is a huge no-no for the current Kamen Riders, because it's more of a kid show now.
Yeah,
but this one's a throwback to the old days, so it's like all the adults will watch Amazons. So now we have season 2 of it coming out. I haven't even caught up on season 1 of Amazons yet, because each episode of Amazons is about 40 to 60 minutes long.
Oh, okay.
So it's pretty much like
That's good
2 shows in one episode.
Yep.
So my friend and I were watching it together, and we got like 5 episodes in, but there's so much to watch right now. Like, you guys have been recommending shows. I've had other people recommending shows. I mean, like, probably Gurren Lagann is the next thing that I'm gonna be watching.
Sounds good.
In fact, that's the thing that crashed my computer. I was listening to Gurren Lagann music, and then I went to turn it off, and then just boom, computer crashed.
I gotta say, that's the only time I've ever heard of Gurren Lagann betraying anybody. Because,
well, I guess the music's drill pierced the heavens of my computer.
Yep, straight through the hard drive. Done. Yep.
So that's pretty much it for the shows and that. For games, my friend and I just went through and beat Dark Souls.
Hey, holy shit! Someone that's fucking completely beaten Dark Souls. Cool.
Yeah.
I know of very few people who have pulled off the whole thing, so kudos, man. Fuck, that's good.
Yeah, that includes the DLC as well.
Oh shit.
Like the Manus battle and all that.
I've got a confession to make. Like, as far as Dark Souls is concerned, like, I've gotten like maybe half an hour to 1 hour of like gameplay is worth the time through the first game.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, man, I've got to fucking play something else. Like, I tapped out. I will fully admit, like, oh man, I stepped away from that hard. Like, aesthetically, Dark Souls, just all of it. Visuals, music, I love it to pieces, but just too much for me at that time.
Yeah.
I was just in the kind of mood where I'm like, I just want to play some easier games right now, you know?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it was my... what was it? I think it was my 5th time beating it. But it was his first time beating Dark Souls.
5 times?
Yeah.
Alright. Whoa. Damn.
Each with different classes, the big sword class, I had my dexterity guy using the OP Great Scythe. I had my magic user, had Pyromancer, and I still have a bunch of other characters that I can beat it with. It's just after you play it non-stop until you beat it, then I even told him, because he wants to go again right away. He's like, man, I fucking love Dark Souls. I want to create another character and go through it again. I said, dude, I've beaten it like 5 times now. I need a break.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I love Dark Souls, but I need a goddamn break from this.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you might need, is you need to go through it with someone. Because it's a much more enjoyable experience. Because this was my first time actually, what we called a summon and sniping, which was getting your friend before someone else got them. Mm-hmm. So, this was the first time that I ran the entire game with my friend. Okay. And we were the only people who would summon each other. And it was a lot more fun than playing it by myself.
Alright.
So I feel, in a way, it is a multiplayer game. Then, of course, you and I had a few Overwatch matches.
We did. Those, I don't think those happened over the course of the last week, but we certainly have had a few good matches, yeah.
Yeah, well, for me, it's been from the last time that I've been on.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
Got to show off a bit of my Reaper.
You've got a pretty good Reaper. I've got no complaints with it.
Yeah. I don't exactly play Overwatch that much anymore. And with this new character that's coming out, I'm not sure how that's going to change the way I look at things for it.
You're not a fan of Orisa?
Well, you know her charge move that just... it blocks any knockback at all.
Yep.
I don't know. I'm feeling that that's going to make a lot of characters, like definitely Roadhog or something, seem useless. Definitely since she has a move that pulls things anyways. And that has less of a cooldown than Roadhog's grab and pull.
I'll have to do a bit more research myself, see what I think of all of this, but at the very least, I'm definitely willing to give Orisa a chance, because she does look fun, if nothing else, but if she upsets the balance of the game too much, then yeah, I couldn't really blame you for having some problems with that.
Yeah, and I mean, that's why she was pushed ahead, right? So now that she's taking even longer to come out is because they're trying to balance her.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
So, like I said, I just don't know how I feel about it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to complain about it. I'm just going to say I personally don't know how I'm going to feel about it. I play bots anyways, right? So, who gives a shit?
Right, yeah. Fair enough. Take your time, Blizzard, and get the job done right the first time.
Yep.
And looking forward to Orisa coming in. I hope that comes over well.
Yeah, I'm just really looking forward to what's his name? The one Terry Crews, Doomfist.
Yeah,
I was gonna call him. I was gonna call him Godfist for a second.
Godfist.
Alternate costume, maybe.
Yeah.
Doomfist. I'm looking forward to. Definitely, if he's voiced by Terry Crews, like they said.
Mm.
And then a final game I think I played, because this has definitely been the sick week and I haven't played any games, is Diablo 3.
Okay, alright. It's, the only experience that I have with Diablo 3 is back when I was chilling with my brother a lot. He did, like, more or less a full playthrough of Diablo 3. And I was there for, like, most of it. And I also jumped in and, like, played with him for, like, 15-20 minutes. But apart from that, I've got, like, pretty much no experience with this game. So
Yeah.
I hear that I hear that in the overall community it's pretty polarizing. Like, a lot of people have issue with it compared to Diablo 2. But, you know, I guess it still has its own unique fan following.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the mode that I'm playing on, which I think I'm playing on expert mode right now.
Okay.
Sorry. With every one of my characters. So, I mean, I must have to go up more and more because there's like 10 different harder levels. But normally when you're on expert mode on a game, you know, you could tell the difference of difficulty. I cannot tell the difference of difficulty in Diablo 3.
Really?
Yeah, like expert still feels like beginner for me.
Oh. Whoa.
Because I have every kind of character that you can make, and they've all beaten Diablo.
And was even he a challenge? Like, the final boss
No.
himself, was he? No? Easy.
Pushover. I mean, it has Dark Souls rolls, so I'm used to Dark Soul rolling.
Okay, yeah.
So any moves that would be like super dangerous, I just know to move, like roll away from them anyways.
Yeah.
I think the hardest difficulty-wise that I had against Diablo was when I was using my character Tarkus, and that's just because he has to get right up close. But beating him with Artorias was easy. Beating him with Nito was easy. Beating him with Yuria was easy. And beating him with Solaire was easy.
I'm noticing a trend.
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost like they're all named after Dark Souls characters. Or Demon Souls.
Yeah. Maybe.
Anyways, yeah, that's it for me. What about you, good sir?
Well, as for me, what have I been doing this past week? I believe that I played a little bit more of Shantae, Risky Revenge, because, hey, you know, I do want to eventually hit the point where I can jump over to Shantae 3, or Pirate's Curse, rather.
Yeah.
So, even though I'm not, like, I'm not currently super nuts about playing through, like, a Metroidvania in general,
yeah.
I still do want to get through it, because, like, even though that's not the genre I'm currently in the mood for, just there's something about the way that Shantae is set up that is just fantastic.
Yeah, I actually ran into that this year. The feeling of not wanting to play a Metroidvania. Because for Halloween this year, I played Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Oh, shit, okay. Yeah.
And after recording it, like I said to myself, I want to play it still. I said, I'll go beat Dracula, you know, I'll go rescue the Belmont and all that. And, you know, I'll get the secret
Belmondo.
And I just, after 5 more minutes of playing after I recorded, I just didn't feel it anymore.
Yeah.
And then I think I played, like, Castlevania 64, or maybe I played it before that, so maybe that killed my hype, who knows.
Probably. 10 out of 10 doctors suggest that you never touch Castlevania 64.
Yeah, I suggest it too.
Yeah.
I'm a doctor, I swear.
It's pretty good. Like, Castlevania is also a franchise that, like, it's great.
Mm.
You know, it's something that I'm also a huge fan of, which brings us over to something else that I might as well bring up quickly. John, do you have any thoughts of the upcoming Castlevania Netflix series? Do you think that even doing that in the first place is a wise decision, or I don't know? What do you think about that?
Is this animated or is this at live action?
It's probably gonna be live action, I'd say, but I could be 100% wrong. I don't know.
It can go both ways.
Yeah.
We haven't really seen, like, other than Japan, and even then, it's kind of rare. We haven't really seen good anime or video game adaptations to live film.
Right. Speaking of which, I hear that, oh, actually, sorry, sorry, go on.
I was just gonna say, but if they decide not to focus so much on that to make it exactly Castlevania, because let's admit it, they're not gonna follow the damn material anyways. They're gonna make it for casual people to watch who don't know a lick about Castlevania. They're just gonna be like, ooh, it's spooky.
Oh no, hey.
But if they make it like Van Helsing, then maybe.
Like, as far as lead protagonists go, I don't know, like, since this is going to be the first taste for many people into the Castlevania universe, I can totally see why the smartest decision would be to have, like, a Belmont as your leading character here. However, that being said, if this gets bigger somehow, I'd have no issue with, like, something following, like, Alucard or some shit like that.
Yeah.
I'd watch that too. For sure.
What I'm gonna say is, this is about, like, what it will be, is it'll be as close to Castlevania as the Archie series is to the Archie comics.
Right, okay, yeah. That's alright, yeah.
He'll use the names.
Yep.
So that people can be like, oh, that's the character.
I recognize him.
Somewhat get the likeness. I mean, I highly doubt it, but they'll try, I guess.
They'll give it a fair shake.
Like, you'll be able to say, oh, is that Richter, or is that Simon? I'm kind of worried about Simon, because lately people have been making Simon look like he's in the BDSM or something.
Yeah, it's, Judgment. Judgment was the game that kind of steered him towards that now.
Which is hilarious, because in a way, I don't mind his Judgment costume, but, I mean, it's to the point where I'm going to say any more than that is way too much.
Right.
Like, they're at the very tip of the knife with that.
I've got to be honest with you, the art style for Judgment, it already feels too anime, as far as I'm concerned. Like, with Castlevania specifically, I've always loved it the most when it has remained looking like super fucking gothic.
Yeah.
I want it to remain that way. Like the promotional art for Symphony of the Night with Alucard in the center, just holding up a sword, surrounded by the cast of the game.
Yeah.
That shit, that, like, iconic picture. That is, like, I'm not saying don't branch out, don't try a couple new things, but when I think Castlevania, I'm like, this is what Castlevania is.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
But if you think about it, the last time the mainstream saw Castlevania in any type of media, for like film or TV show wise, was Captain N.
I think you're right, yeah.
Because that was totally Simon Belmont.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, it can go either way. It could be...
Right.
I'm not going to say it's going to be good. What I can say is it can be decent, or it can be really bad.
Yeah, if this ends up being fucking fantastic, I will be absolutely shocked. I think you're right. It's going to be one of those two.
Yeah, and it has to come out around Halloween time, because otherwise you've just done fucked up.
Yep. Oh, okay, what else? Alright, we're going on half an hour now, so I guess I'll wrap up like super quick what I've been doing. So yeah, Shantae's cool, still playing some Overwatch, that's always fun. Looking forward to get my Vita. I am really looking forward to getting that Vita back from my brother because, look, I don't have a whole lot of time left. P5 drops in less than a month, and I still want to be able to beat B3. But if I can't, that's alright. Like, I'm already playing this franchise out of order, so it's not too big a deal.
You're like Wooly, you play everything out of order.
Yep. Oh man, I'm terrible for that. I own Titanfall 2 and not 1, but I hear that I'm not missing up much on that because Titanfall 1 was apparently really weak compared to the first one. To the second one, rather.
Yeah, and that's alright too, because I started Devil May Cry with Devil May Cry 2. That was a fucking mistake.
I started it with 4, so don't worry about it. Alright, so yeah, still playing video games over here as well. Still trying to, what am I trying to catch up with nowadays? I started the Catherine playthrough just last night, actually. Like, I'm a few episodes in. I was watching that with my brother over Watch Together. That's a heck of a lot of fun. That's, Matt and Wooly have good chemistry there. Like, arguably their chemistry is at its highest so far in that one. Definitely worth watching if you haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, no.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's good stuff so far. Yeah, my week has been more or less same as usual. Still trying to host more Watch Togethers. Still trying to stay on top of things. So, things have been pretty normal. So now we might as well transfer over to our subject of the hour. John, what is your history with the Dragon Ball franchise like? Where did you start with? Did you start with Ball? Did you start with Z? Did you what is your trek through this wonderful franchise looked like?
I started with Dragon Ball, and that's when it was airing. I don't know when it was, just because it's when we were younger. Yeah. And we got our own special like Canadian opening and shit, because even Dragon Ball Z had their own special opening for Dragon Ball Z. We had the Dragon Ball Z. Like, that was for Canadians.
Yeah. We got the best version. I don't care what anyone says. You can keep your head Shala. And you can also keep your Rock the Dragon. I don't care. We got the best.
Yeah, I remember my friends and I would always sing that in fucking school. It was great.
Good.
And then, like, of course, when you get to the part where you're screaming Dragon Ball Z, like, with the deep voice, people are like, "Are you fucking praising Satan or something?" I'm like, no, man, it's Dragon Ball Z. So I started with Dragon Ball, watched a few of those. I think the first episode I even saw, because, back then we didn't have Netflix, we didn't have Show Me, we didn't have all this shit where you can just see things whenever you want. You had to wake up super early in the morning to watch what you wanted.
Oh yeah, preach it. No, I totally get it. Back in the day, I had to, my Saturday mornings was I wake up early as hell just so I could catch two things. Just catch Power Rangers and just catch Digimon.
Yeah.
That was, wake up at the crack of dawn. I don't care. I'm not missing Saturday morning cartoons, period. That was life.
And not to get off topic, but just because it was brought up. The first time I actually watched Digimon was super late. And, I count myself as more of a Digimon fan than Pokemon. I saw Pokemon before Digimon. I saw Digimon when I was living in Ontario. Or Ottawa, Ontario.
Oh, okay.
And
that's
it was like a different time zone than I was even used to. Because I was still looking at New Brunswick time.
Okay.
And I was like, it's coming out at this time in New Brunswick. What's that in Ontario time? And then my mom would tell me, and we were 30 minutes away, or 30 minutes away from the show airing, and we were actually at a pool that was at least a 40-minute walk. I was like, okay, now I'm pissed, Mom.
Yeah.
I want to watch my goddamn Digimon.
That's right.
Yeah,
fucking serious.
For Dragon Ball, I think, as you age, your memories kind of get fucked up and you kind of make false memories, but I'm going to say my first episode of Dragon Ball was actually when Goku was, like, pounding on Bulma's vagina and saying, like, Bulma, your balls are missing.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what? Like, that was the first thing it opened up to when I flipped over the channel.
Sorry, excuse me.
Yeah, no problem. And my little brother and I were just laughing our ass off. Because, immature kids at the time.
Oh yeah, of course. Well, that's also what Goku himself was.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
I watched a few episodes of that. I think I got up to, like, General Tao.
Yeah.
And then I started watching other things. I have no idea what was still on during that time. That was probably time Tubbies existed. Probably. Then you look back at that and you go, why the fuck did I watch that shit?
We did weird things back when we were kids. There was no need to explain it. It's alright. Sorry, just a sec. Boy!
Then, of course, I went to Dragon Ball Z.
Yep.
And pretty much watched all that. GT, I didn't really see. GT, I found out through Budokai Tenkaichi 3, the video game.
Right.
And then, of course, we didn't get anything until Super.
Oh, yeah.
And now there's Kai as well.
That must have been pretty weird, just jumping on Tenkaichi 3 and being like, Shadow Dragons? The fuck?
What? Fucking Red Ape Goku? What is this?
Who is Omega Shenron and why is his name so fucking cool?
Why is Beerus' name Bill translated?
Yes.
Because the first time I heard Beerus was in a video game. And I think that's before they decided his official name or something. Because his name on that was Bill.
Yeah.
I'm like, why? And then I looked up the Japanese name for it, and it was Anubis. I'm like, why is that so much fucking cooler? Why can't we just name him Anubis? What the hell? Then we named them Beerus, and I'm fine with Beerus and Whis. It makes sense.
Beerus and Whis are fun. I've got no issues with those.
Your experiences, sir?
My experience with Dragon Ball, in general, was back when I was a kid. One day I walked down for Saturday morning cartoons, and lo and behold, an episode of the Namek Saga of DBZ was playing, and I believe that it was the Ocean dub, because Ocean was the one that was dubbing Dragon Ball way back when. So. Yeah. It's probably about that time. That was nice. I looked at it and I was like, "Hey, this is aggressive and full of testosterone and violent. It's just the thing that a budding young male mind needs. This is I want more of this inside my life."
Yeah.
So then I just kind of gravitated towards Dragon Ball at any chance that I could. One thing that's kind of weird is, truth be told, I have never watched, like, the entirety of the DBZ anime. Well, I guess, like, quite a few people haven't watched, like, the whole thing. But, as far as my history with DBZ goes, like, I'd, like, catch an episode whenever I got the chance. I remember also seeing the climax of the Cell Saga once back when I was younger, right during the, clash of the Kamehamehas between Cell and Gohan, so that was cool. However, that being said, I read the entirety of the DBZ manga, which is super weird.
Yeah.
Like, I am the only person that I know of who's done that, who, like, took that route. But my high school library had the whole thing. So I'm just like, fuck it, I'm marathoning this during like my lunch and stuff.
Yeah.
So so then that happened. I ended up doing that. Later on, also during my teenage years, I decided to start marathoning the Dragon Ball manga online. Yep. I lost interest shortly after the second Tenkaichi Budokai when Goku fought Tien.
Yep.
But you know, I might still go back and continue reading it one day. Just not my kind of priority at the moment.
Yeah, I have only one book, like manga-wise, for it.
Okay.
And I think that's Dragon Ball as well. And it's just where basically Krillin's being a douchebag.
Yeah. Krillin was a fucking jackass back when he was first introduced.
Yeah. And I think it is like it also has the very first introduction of lunch, maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sounds about right.
It's been a long time. I mean, the last manga I even remember purchasing, I think, is a Legend of Zelda one.
Oh, right on. I think that I read all of the Ocarina of Time manga. So, that was also cool. The Legend of Zelda mangas were better than, better than I thought they were going to be.
Yeah, I got the one where he battles Shadow Link.
Oh, nice. Okay, what else? Super. Super is, I've watched the first episode of the English dub of Super, and I've been checking out clips on YouTube of a lot of Super content as far as the subversion is concerned, because there's a lot of fights that I want to check out, but I'm not devoting my time to watching all of Super, especially because there's some points in that series where the quality just fucking dips. So yeah, I'm not gonna be checking out the whole thing. Yeah, I really, really doubt I'm ever gonna get around to that. But what else is there? So yeah, alright, that's more or less our history with the franchise. If you had to nail down one saga over the course of the whole thing, like the whole trifecta, which would you say is the one that you have enjoyed the most?
There's part of that cold showing up there. I'm gonna say right now it's really close between the Cell Saga and the first tournament of Super.
Oh,
like with Hit and all of them.
Yeah.
That's where I stand.
Why you're drawn to those two sagas?
The Cell Saga, because Cell was such a good bad guy.
He's great.
Truly perfect.
Yep.
And that was a time for Gohan to shine.
Yep.
And that was that was starting to lead him up to being a much better character. Then he became Saiyaman, which for me is like, oh cool, he's a Kamen Rider, but then again, he's a fucking joke. He's a joke character. And then we see in Super, he starts coming back and starting to be badass again.
Yeah. The interesting thing about Gohan during the events of the whole franchise is the thing with Gohan is that after the end of the Cell Saga, Toriyama straight up was like, okay, my new intention is Gohan is the main character. Because even he himself must have realized, okay, Goku's story has been written. We've come to understand Goku extremely well.
Yep.
We know who he is. We understand him. We've had years and years and years and years to come to understand Goku over the course of, at that point, Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. So Goku pretty much ran his course. And the start of the Buu Saga came around, and it's like, okay, let's make Gohan the leading man. And I'm not sure how most other people feel about this, but I honestly think he should have stuck to that decision because Gohan to me is pretty intensely more interesting than his father.
Yeah.
I care about Gohan a lot more than Goku.
Yeah. We also have to remember that at that time that the Cell Saga was going on, we would have been like a bit older than Gohan.
Right.
But we're kind of around the same age as Gohan.
Yeah.
So it's kind of
Give or
like
take.
Power Rangers, right? There was a reason why they were teenagers. It's because by the time we were watching it, we were starting to head into our teenage years.
It's like, oh hey, we want.
Because it was well before 1992.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, wait. Sorry, I thought that the Power Rangers started in 1993, if I recall correctly, right?
Give me a sec. Because Jew Ranger, which is the one that Power Rangers is based off, came out in 1992 and went up to 1993.
Right. Okay.
And I was actually watching Super Sentai by the time Power Rangers came out. So I technically I don't want to sound like an elitist and shit, but I did see Power Rangers before Power Rangers came out. Like, I don't want to be a hipster about it, but yeah, okay. I did. I saw Power Rangers before Power Rangers came out because I had a Japanese friend who would have episodes recorded from Japan, and he brought them over, and he would translate it for me.
That's pretty nice.
So it looks like you are correct. It debuted in August 28th of 1993.
That's... Whoa! What? That's extra weird to me because my birthday is actually August 28th, 1992. So exactly 1 year. Exactly 1 year after I was born. Boom.
Yep, Power Rangers came out.
That's kind of weird. That's alright though. What is it again? Right, right.
Yeah, and for the saga with like Hit and all them,
yeah,
I felt like there's no thing that brings it out like character-wise. Like, I think all the characters were good. Even the, the yellow bear, which normally wouldn't be entertaining at all. He just looks like some goober. He had an entertaining fight. The Furnace had an entertaining fight with Vegeta. Even the Saiyan Kid, which you think would just get flung around like nothing, still had a pretty good match with Vegeta.
Vegeta fucking, Vegeta closed up shop in that tournament. He went hard. He won 3 of the matches himself.
Yeah. And what we're starting to notice now is, I think Vegeta is turning out to be more of a good guy than Goku is.
That's, yeah. That is something that I'm looking forward to having a conversation about, and there's no reason why we can't have it now.
Well, before that, you should go over the saga that you liked most. Then we'll get to that.
Yeah, of course. Fuck, that's hard. That's rough. I don't know. I probably one part that I have to say that I wasn't crazy about myself was the Frieza saga, because people do love to talk about how great the Frieza saga is for a number of reasons. Frieza is the most iconic villain. That was the part when the Super Saiyan first showed up. But at its peak moments, the Frieza saga was great. But during the drier moments, all that it is was just a huge MacGuffin chase.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's like, who currently has the Dragon Ball? So, Vegeta's hiding them on Namek somewhere. Now Krillin and Gohan have stolen them. Now the Ginyu Force have them. Now Vegeta stole them back from Frieza. It's like, oh, well, man, if, like, I can understand why the Dragon Balls are being used to move the plot along there, because they're the one thing that every single party wants. But, I don't know, it just kind of put a damper on things for me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd probably have to say the Cell Saga as well. It's strong. It's like Future Trunks himself. Like back when I was a kid, he was my absolute favorite. Vegeta, I'd have to say, is actually my if not favorite Dragon Ball character, then definitely at least second favorite, because Vegeta's strong. His transformation from a villain into a hero is one of the best examples of character development I've seen in any anime ever. I think it's fantastic. But yeah, the Cell Saga had a hell of a lot to give. The main androids, like 16, 17, 18, not so much 19 and 20, but even Cell himself. Almost all of the villains in that part, they had something cool about themselves to give. 17 was the kid who thought he was way cooler than he actually was, but he pulled off the gimmick well. 18 went on to become an actual member of the party later on in the storyline. 16, the gentle giant. He's cool.
He's there for the birds and to kill
right.
Goku.
That's pretty much it, man. But he made it work, you know?
Yeah.
The thing with the Cell Saga is, especially with the Dragon Balls becoming useless during, like, the last half of that part because of Piccolo and Kami, since they were taken out of the picture super hard, that part couldn't be about the Dragon Balls. It was just straight up about, we need to kill Cell. Well, mainly the second half. Like, we need to take out the androids. They're our greatest threat yet. And that had the potential to also be really boring because it's one fight scene after another. But the fact that Cell himself is such a interesting, like, varied character in terms of how many abilities he gathered and went through meant that fight scenes with him always wound up being interesting, because it's like, whose technique is he gonna whip out next?
Yeah.
So fighting the androids and then immediately after that going on to fight Cell, it felt good. It felt really great to take in. So I can't blame you at all for saying that was probably your favorite part.
Plus Cell was just one of those bad guys that weren't like as desperate. Like, he did have his desperate moment where he's like, I'm going to blow up the entire planet now.
Right, yeah.
Like, he did have that moment, but he wasn't quite like Frieza, where, Frieza's just like, I'll blow up the planet and you with it, type of deal. Just because I feel like it. And just because you pissed me off. No, he was more of... and also, sorry, Frieza also did that out of desperation, because, Frieza was losing hard.
Yeah.
So it's like, fine, I'll just blow up the planet and me and everyone else with it, I don't care. But Cell, though he had that desperate moment, he knew that he would regenerate.
Yeah.
So he was just like, if this is what it takes to get out Gohan's true power, then I'm going to, threaten to blow up the entire world. Like everything he loves. And so that's what I liked about it. He's like, come on, show me your full power.
Yeah.
I know you're hiding it. And then, of course, he had that moment where he got blessed and he's like, oh shit!
Yeah. What else is there? As far as the other part the mention goes, the Black Goku arc is kind of It's kind of fucking weird. I'm not gonna lie. It felt like a huge asshole. Quite a lot of parts of that saga felt like an asshole. Not only in terms of fluctuating power levels, but just Goku Black himself. Black and Zamos. Like, they had quite a lot of potential in terms of the whole mentality of humanity is a disease. We need to get rid of it kind of mindset. The problem is, this is not the first time we've been exposed to a concept like that.
Yeah.
And they didn't really bring much fresh and interesting to the table. So, I don't know, I feel like that could have been handled better. The Universe 6 or 8. I think the Universe 8 tournament arc was fantastic, on the other hand. Because, overall, we did get introduced to a bunch of cool new elements from our partner universe in that one. But Hit himself is, I've got to be honest with you, I think Hit is one of the most interesting elements that's been brought into the series in a long, long time. Hit. See, the thing that I like about him, and the reason that I think that he genuinely just shakes the formula so much, is because think about how almost every Dragon Ball character fights. Like, think about like the barrage of energy attacks, the overall complete lack of subtlety in every way, shape, and form that the cast of Dragon Ball fights with. Yeah. And then we got introduced to Hit. Like, we haven't ever seen him throw a single traditional energy attack once. The only time that we saw something like that is when he shot them at Goku.
Yeah.
Through his fist, and with them being completely invisible. During their rematch fight. Like, even something as simple as using an energy attack, he's done completely differently from any character that I can think of so far in the franchise. He shook up the formula on how to do that. He's basically got King Crimson's powers from JoJo.
Yeah, pretty much.
His entire method of approaching a fight and acting while in the middle of a fight is the polar opposite of just about every Dragon Ball character that I can think of.
Yeah.
Hit being here is a huge, huge breath of fresh air. And I'm glad that he got his rematch with Goku after the tournament. I want to see him again in the upcoming Tournament of Power.
Mm-hmm.
I just want more Hit, man. Because with every fight that Hit is in, like, we can guarantee that we're going to be taking a departure from the standard formula. And when you've been around for as long as Dragon Ball has, like, look, man, you could really do with a departure from the standard formula.
Yeah.
That's a welcome. That's something that should be brought in more, for sure.
Plus he took out Frost.
He made Frost look like a bitch. Nothing. A second. That's how long that fight lasted.
Which, I actually want to quickly bring up Frost as well. I felt Frost was actually kind of cool. Because, first he was trying to be that nice Frieza, and he was actually fooling everyone. So he was like, oh, my apologies, I'm sorry that I've been hiding this potential. I will go more powerful because you've been showing me your power. So it almost seemed like he was kind of being selfish.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, now you're actually trying? Fine, I'll actually try type of deal. But then, when he starts using the poison and stuff on Goku, you're like, oh, you really are just an asshole. You really are just Frieza from another dimension.
Yeah.
But I did like that they tried to fool you first, thinking that, holy shit, wait, there's a good Frieza out there?
Yeah.
And it's like,
Not just good, but like a straight up hero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I like that saga. It's just, Toriyama could have done the boring writing shit that he would normally do where he'd just be like, "Oh look, two-dimensional bad guy. Look, it's Frieza again, everyone."
It's Frieza. Oh shit.
Yeah, no, they surprised me with Frost, even though in the end it was just fucking Frieza again.
Yep. That's all it was. What else is there?
Well, we're now talking about how Goku seems to be more evil than Vegeta.
Yeah. We're hitting an hour now, but there's absolutely no reason why we can't tackle that quick. And to be honest with you, I'd really like to. The thing with the current topic of conversation with Goku's moral standpoint is I see where people are coming from, but I also don't completely feel that it's warranted, to be honest with you. At first, we all thought, okay, Goku's acting extremely shady now. The lengths that he's willing to go to just get a good fight seem ridiculous and extremely immoral to a horrible degree. But I don't know if this was just kind of an ass pull to try and make Goku seem like less of a dick. But the reveal I think 2 weeks ago that all of the weaker universes were going to be destroyed kind of changes things, because now at least one of those universes that was going to be destroyed can now fight their way out. So Goku encouraging the Tournament of Power with Zeno, you could argue, actually saved a single universe. And at this point, we can just hope that it's Universe 7. But,
that kind of comes down to plot convenience. It's
does.
Just, oh yeah, by the way, we were going to do this.
Yeah.
See,
no,
here's an example. The way that Vegeta's going now is Vegeta's if he heard that the Earth is in danger, he would be okay, well, I'm going to take out your entire... I'm going to take out all these universes then to save the Earth, to save my new home, to save my family. Goku still pretty much just has the mentality of, wow, I just want to beat guys up.
Yep.
I want to see who's the strongest.
It's weird because Vegeta is becoming this hardcore family man, which is it's something that's always been building up ever since the start of the Android saga, and it's slowly become more and more pronounced, where Vegeta's finally come to realize, wow, I actually deeply care about Bulma and Trunks, and he had no idea that it would ever reach this point. But now we've hit the point that even throughout his development as more of a family-oriented guy, throughout that time he still always put a lot of priority into training and getting stronger, even while doing that, even while taking care of Bulma and Trunks. Yeah. Whereas now we've hit the point that it's straight up no, Goku, you go ahead and train, you go ahead and get stronger. I'm staying with Bulma, just because she's probably about to give birth. It's pretty startling, because I've always been a fan of Vegeta's character development and how gradually and tactfully it was pulled off. But this is hitting an alarming degree at this point. He's straight up no, I'm not even fighting. This one thing that's defined a ton of my character. Just Goku, go ahead, you do it. I'm gonna be completely sitting out. This was a shocker, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. I'm interested to see where how far it's going to take the parallels and differences between Goku and Vegeta to new heights, because regardless of which extreme the two of them sit on, they're probably never going to be 100% alike. But now we're hitting differences between the two of them we couldn't have foreseen.
Yeah.
And I'm liking it. I'm eager to see how far this goes.
A thing, if I recall, is in both Dragon Ball Fusions and Dragon Ball Heroes, or whatever it's called. I think it's called Dragon Ball Heroes. It's another game that's in Japan, which actually has cutscenes in it. Vegeta actually fuses with Trunks.
Oh.
Which, if you remember back in Cell days or Majin Buu days, he would never fuse with Trunks. Never. He barely wanted to fuse with Goku.
Yeah.
So to see him now just be like, okay, we need to fuse together, and he does so with his son, is pretty dang awesome. And Trunks also has a fusion with future Gohan.
Oh shit, nice.
So that's also pretty cool. But the surprising one was Vegeta and Trunks fused together. Yeah. And they're using the rings too. So there's always that chance that they could get stuck in that body, which would be really awkward, because father and son sharing the same body. But they took the chance anyways, because, Vegeta now trusts Trunks, which he originally never would have.
Yeah.
So that just shows, again, how, much he's grown. I have not seen yet Goku fuse with Gohan.
Nope.
He'll fuse with other people. Hell, there's even one where he fuses with Hercule.
Yeah. In Budokai 2, that's actually a secret fusion that you could do.
But never have I seen him even attempt to be like, hey Gohan, you would be cool? Maybe if we try fusing our powers together, because we're both, super hot-blooded Saiyans. We both have
Gohan,
the potential inside of us.
Do you want to be a relevant main character again for just a few minutes? No? Okay.
So I guess we'll sign off, or not sign off, but we sign off normally. But I guess the last Dragon Ball question for now, because God knows we could do many more podcasts, even with the other guys with Dragon Ball stuff. But we might as well just go through our favorite characters. You're saying Vegeta, and you're explaining a few reasons why.
For me, a toss-up between Vegeta and now Hit as well. They're both great.
I'd say for me, honestly, looking back through all of them and stuff, and truly thinking about it, not just being like, oh, so and so's the strongest.
Yeah, that's a bullshit reason.
But I am gonna go with Beerus.
Beerus is cool. He's I'm interested to see where his character is going to go based on what's on the line for him. Should his universe get potentially get destroyed? I'm super curious about like what could he do? Could he potentially oppose even Zeno himself? If that's what it came to. I am curious about what could become of Beerus. Yeah.
I think in the end it'd actually be Whis who stands up, because Whis, as we know, is actually stronger than Beerus.
By quite a lot, in fact, yeah.
And what people are thinking is Whis' father is going to turn on the two gods, the big top of the top. He's going to turn against them, and maybe he'll come into power, but he's going to get corrupted or something. Then it's going to have to be up to Whis and his sister to take him down.
Right.
Or it'll be up to Goku, who gets the power from Whis, or because Goku's always got to do it, right? He's got to be the hero.
It's always got to be all about Goku.
And because this is the thing, if Beerus dies, which would happen if the Supreme Kai dies of his galaxy, Whis also, I don't know what happened. I think he lives, but he has no purpose.
No, once a god of destruction dies, then their angel becomes completely inactive and dormant.
Yeah. So, of course, he said, well, Vegeta, you have to become the next god of destruction. In order for Vegeta to be able to become the next god of destruction, he kind of has to be able to beat Beerus, or at least be on the same level as Beerus,
Right.
which Vegeta is not.
I could actually see it, like, based on how things are going, I think it's more likely that Goku would end up becoming the god of destruction, and if anything, if something were to go wrong, and Goku is, as it's been implied pretty hard so far coming up, if his desire to fight goes to, like, even more reckless new heights, if Goku were to take over as the god of destruction, if something were to happen to Beerus, then I could actually see Vegeta having to stand up against Goku as, like, an actual full-on, like, antagonistic battle.
Yeah. I cannot tell you another thing that I love about Beerus, and, like, this is kind of a helping deciding factor of why he's my favorite. Beerus can actually kill off fucking joke characters.
Mm-hmm.
Like, characters who are supposed to be godly because, you know, they're just joke characters, and, like, people like Aurelia and stuff, he could just delete off the face of the earth.
I don't know. Like, the entire concept of a gag character is that they're as strong as the situation requires their comedic effect to be. So, if it would be funny for Aurelia to beat Beerus, then Aurelia beats Beerus.
I suppose, but we've already seen him kill off, like, the Doctor who, you know, is the main bad guy of Dr. Slump.
Oh yeah, it doesn't matter if something is technically alive or just a soul, like, Beerus can destroy it, for sure.
He's just like, you're pissing me off, get out. Dead.
Yeah.
But again, I'm not choosing Beerus because of power, it's just overall, like, I find his personality funny. His voice in Japanese and English is just, you know, perfect.
They're both great. They're both really, really solid. With a lot of voice acting work in anime, I often find myself disliking either the English or Japanese version of, like, a single character. It's not nearly as often that, like, I check out both versions of a character's voice and find myself enjoying them both. But Beerus is one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so we might as well get to the points here of, is there anything that you look forward to within the next week that you can think of?
Alright, yeah, let's get wrapping it up. We'll take a couple minutes on this. This upcoming week for me is mainly just going to be trying to make more progress on Shantae. Probably jump back on Overwatch for a bit, and I'm gonna see if I can continue making progress on One Piece, because I'm still on Dressrosa, and I want to reach the point where like we could potentially hold down, like, a One Piece cast or something like that as well, because I'd be super down for that. Yeah, but that more or less covers it for me for this upcoming week. How about you, John?
I think I'm gonna check out the new Yu-Gi-Oh movie that came out.
Okay.
Which I think is Yu-Gi-Oh! Dark Side Dimensions. Maybe? I don't know. Anyways, there's a new Yu-Gi-Oh! Movie that came out, so might as well. Hence why I've been doing my Pegasus voice today.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, I might as well do some Yu-Gi-Oh! Voices.
Get in the mood for it, yeah.
What else? Looking forward to Kamen Rider Amazon Season 2 whenever that comes out. I don't think it's soon though, so that's the only reason why I don't say within this next week for that. So I guess just watching a few animes. Definitely getting over this cold. That's what really needs to happen. I missed my Dungeons and Dragons. Sorry. What did you say there again? I was speaking over you.
Oh, no, I was just saying you and me both. Just trying to get rid of this cold.
Yeah, I missed my Dungeons and Dragons night because of it, so I'm 2 sessions behind to get a level, which really sucks because now we're getting into really hard monsters. So my character will probably end up dead soon.
You will surely kill the Tarrasque.
Well, I said if they kill off my character, I'm making the Shock Master.
Okay, good, yeah. Run with it.
I might check out the Overlord anime, I don't know. Again, depends on how I feel, right?
Also, if you do end up checking out Gurren Lagann soon, then please let me know what you think, because I love me some Gurren Lagann, and I could talk about it. Like, I could do another hour on just that one as well. Like, I like it that much.
I was told that when you watch it, you might as well watch the English version because the dub is really good.
I don't know. I checked out the sub version for Gurren Lagann because I found that the Japanese voice actress for that one had just like the intensity of their voice. Like Kamena's voice actor, for example, is outstanding. But if it is that good in English, then
for English wise, I might check that one out just because I've met Kyle Haber in real life.
Oh, no way!
Yeah, he was at the Animaritime anime convention that we have here where I live. He was a guest.
Oh, fuck, man. That's cool.
And many people were getting him to do Kamina quotes for them.
Yeah, of course.
So, of course, if I could watch what he did, because, like I said, I never watched Gurren Lagann, right? Like, I knew he was Kamina, but I also knew he was Kiba. So when I talked to him, it was more a Kiba voice from Naruto.
Yeah.
But I mean, I might want to check out his Kamina. I don't know.
Might as well, yeah. So,
and was it Johnny Young Bosch or something? That's Simone.
I really am not sure. I can recognize Johnny Young Bosch's voice almost anywhere, so if I heard
even when he's doing a really bad British accent.
Even when he's doing a really bad British accent, his Jonathan Joestar is all right. I've got no huge complaints about it.
The one I found the weirdest, even though they really did try, because how the fuck do you do Italian accent when you're not Italian? Which, I mean, maybe they did get an Italian guy, but I just thought it was extremely fake, was Caesar Zeppeli.
Yeah, he's, no, I've heard a couple clips of the English dub of Battle Tendency, and that Caesar is, I'm gonna be honest with you, that's kind of hard to take seriously, that voice.
Yeah. So, those, for game-wise, I can't really afford video games these days, so what I think I'm really going to try to play and focus on this week is Darkest Dungeon.
I hear it's pretty good.
Oh yeah, I'll be stressed the fuck out by the end of it.
You'll be fine, buddy.
And,
alright, I do... Sorry. Gone?
Yep.
Okay, is that about it for you, John?
Yeah, pretty much, just try to catch up on some animes, hopefully begin Gurren Lagann or something. One Piece, as before we sign out here, we might as well mention it. One Piece on Toonami, no longer a thing. So, does that mean the dub's officially ended? I don't know. If so, then hey, I can at least catch up on the dub. Then I'll start watching sub again, of course, when dub is no longer a thing, and or at least when I catch up on the dub, I'll just go to sub. So I'm with you on the. I definitely need to catch up on One Piece.
Yeah. Gotta catch up. Gotta get good.
Alright, so, you want to sign us off as usual?
Yeah, my bus leaves in like 20 minutes, so I do have to start heading out.
Yep.
There's no real need for us to sign off as usual, because there's only 2 of us here. It's more of a tradition to get our big chant for when we've got 3 or more people. So for now, we might as well just say, au revoir, friends, for anyone listening.
Johnny.
Please feel free to tune in again for our next podcast. This is the SAF. This is Matthew. John, please say goodbye to the good folks. Alright, everyone. Have a good week, and we'll see you next time. Later.
Johnny.